it's Taco Plays, and today we're going to be playing some Fallout and ask the question, why haven't structures collapsed over the 210 years radiation has been going around? Let's get on with the video with my not humorous jokes and everything that explains it all, basically. Anyways, so we have a few starting points. So the buildings that survived were mostly, some of the buildings that survived were mostly cared by people, like Raiders or Diamond City or Berthany Farm. All the farms, those can be found pretty early on in the game. Not Diamond City though, but they can be found pretty early on. And then they're still standing because people are caring for them. Well, let's take Sanctuary for granted as our victim. How come it hasn't collapsed? There's probably some good explanation of why, but my explanation is the radiation. Maybe wood can take in radiation. We do not know. What even was the material of the houses made out of? Like, it couldn't be wood, it could be some new material, like leather. I don't know. Leather plus wood plus steel, whatever. Anyways, that could be significantly strong. And you know Vault-Tec was preparing for that, but they're not the ones who dropped the bombs. Well, if you're early on in the game. Spoiler alert! Lots of spoilers. Lots of spoilers. Should probably said that before. Anyways, so, you know how the Sanctuary has survived. How do we know? I mean, like leather plus wood plus steel, there could be some explanation. In Vault-Tec, they were prepared for it, but they didn't drop the bombs. So, and we don't know who did, but we could get some good idea that maybe Vault-Tec built houses too. We do know that Vault-Tec used to be a military. Well, I know that. I really kind of late in the game. But we do know that. And what it is, they could have also been house builders. Like undercover. Building houses out of material that could survive. Some of the houses maybe didn't have the exact recipe as they expected, but most of the houses probably did, as only the roofs or holes in the houses are what's destroyed. There's nothing much left of the world, but Sanctuary sure has a lot left in it. And we also asked the question, how come there's not any other neighborhoods? I haven't explored much of the maps at this point where I'm recording, but how come there's no other neighborhoods? I have no idea, because no one in my record of Fallout has ever found a neighborhood, unless from cities. That's pretty much all that's left. Were the other neighborhoods closer? Concord is a neighborhood, I get that, but it's more of a city because it has a lot of houses and churches. It's more of like a town. Yeah, a town. Not a neighborhood, it's more of a community. So I wouldn't count Concord. Or any other place that has town stuff, like churches and stuff. Because Sanctuary doesn't have that. The requirements for a neighborhood are more than 5 houses. This is building thing. It's a building record. The requirement to call it a neighborhood, it has to have 5 or more houses. It has to have a water source and roads. Not concrete roads, any type of road. So all it has to have to meet the requirements of being a neighborhood. If it has any more like churches or something, that's a town. Cities, tall buildings, and stores. Towns also have stores. So Concord doesn't count, as I just proved there. But is there really any other neighborhoods? Were they destroyed? See, as the footage right now, this house pretty much survived. A lot. See, there's only little teeny holes in the roof. But that house Woo! Maybe they didn't have the right recipe. Who knows? The possibilities of having it. I mean, this is Fallout. Everything's mixed up. We didn't we're in World War II. We ended it. And then it comes back. I think it was World War III. I don't know. Anyways, we have no actual evidence that the recipe that I just talked about. But we could put in some fan theories. I don't have my phone on me now. But maybe there could be some out there saying recipe. Like this red rocket thing. There's a lot of them around. And it survived. Kinda. Pretty much, I would say. And it's a pretty good running store. It could be runnable. Could still buy and sell. Or trade. But, yeah. It was, I would say, yeah, farther away from the bombing radius. And it has less scuffs, wear and tear. Over the 210 years, it probably has had wear and tear, but I would say it's pretty good. It has weapons workshop, which it probably didn't have before, which is signs of people caring for it. People used to live here. It also has a workbench. It's a running gas station. Why would it need a workbench? Like, people have cared for this, probably. Who knows? There's no physical evidence of anyone except the workbench and a few other things that have been raided, like empty boxes or full boxes full of treasure and loot. But we don't know that. We're not 100% sure how people cared for this. Were it regular citizens who were just near it when the bombs dropped and lived here? Or a group of raiders trying to mess with other people by living here and defending it? I don't know how that mess with other people, but okay. Anyways, as I said, there's no physical evidence of some of the buildings having care after the war. Not pre-war, after war. So, we don't have any idea if this was cared for or not. We only have a few evidences. And plus, there's a no smoking sign. Fallout 4 2077, everyone smoked. I think that's just a Bethesda mistake. Oh, does it mean in the building? Oh, I thought. We're getting off track. Anyways. So, what it basically means is there's no civilization of any towns except running civilization. There may have been civilization of a rundown place because it's run down. There used to be people there. But what about the places that already have people running it? Did it have people run it before they started running it? Who knows? Too many pieces to put together. I'm just going to stick on the idea of having the recipe idea where some buildings had the just right recipe and some others didn't. Yeah, I might stick with that. But we have no idea.
Sure you want to leave that?
It takes so much concentration.
Hey.
So much. Who knows? I mean, civilization could have ended, but not all of it. People still cared for buildings and dogs and stuff like that. So, we don't really know if there was civilization. Like, take a Bethany Farm, for instance. It has 3 people living there and lower happiness than my place. Yeah. Which has 2 people. 50, basically. 60 almost. And they have 40. So, it doesn't really matter on the population. It matters on the entertainment stuff. Which means maybe the places that are run down, people left them and stopped caring for them because